Now an Eyewitness News exclusive, parents behaving badly.
We've learned a growing number of referees for youth and high school sports are deciding to hang up their whistles, in large part because of unruly and abusive behavior from fans, including parents of the players.
Eyewitness News anchor Patrick Little joins us now with a story you'll see only on Eyewitness News.
Based on our research, soccer, one of the sports that's seeing the worst shortage of officials from the youth level all the way through high school. But this isn't just a soccer problem or only an issue here in Rhode Island.
There's no one saying, I'm eager to be a ref. There's more saying, look, I can't deal with this anymore.
And Frank Lombardi would know. He's been a high school soccer referee in Rhode Island for over 30 years.
A little league umpire, umpiring a game, and fans were constantly on him. He just dropped his mask, threw the balls back to the pitcher, and walked off the field because he just had it.
Tom Mezzanotti's been the executive director of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League for 16 years.
Becomes a different issue with parents. Parents think for whatever reason, they go to the game, they purchase a ticket, they can say whatever they want. And that's not the case. Al
Ritchie, the director of girls soccer officiating, says he loses 50% of referees that are 21 or younger every year because they are treated so poorly.
There's an issue of parents following officials to their cars. In certain sports, that really is an issue.
There have been a number of incidents across the country. 3 months ago in Ohio, a youth football coach spent 24 hours in jail, charged with an assault on a referee. And last year in Albuquerque, New Mexico, during a youth football game, a parent body slammed a ref after the ref and a 13-year-old player got into an altercation.
Youth sports has become a big business, and along with that comes a lot of pressure. Pressure to perform, pressure to show that your investment in your children has paid off. Pressure on referees to always make the right call.
Bob Cavanaugh spent over 30 years as a coach and athletic director in South Kingstown and won multiple soccer state titles.
I've always said there's no greater joy in life than watching kids succeed. I coach in a league now, a recreational league, where they've had to send out notices to the parents via email or text message that sideline behavior by the parents won't be tolerated. I mean, who in the world 25 years ago would have thought you would have had to do that?
I had to meet with Mr. Mezzanotti in the group because we had an assault on an official. A player, a 16, 17-year-old player, came onto the field and assaulted one of our officials. The trend is not improving. The trend is it's certainly getting worse and worse. A lot of officials much older than me, 10, 15 years older than me, and I'm 57, so what does that tell you?
You don't have to raise your blood pressure level up to an unreasonable level. Just enjoy the game, because in a very short time it's over. And then there's nothing left. You'll go by a field and you'll say, geez, I remember what great times I had at that field, instead of thinking, geez, what an awful person I was at those games.
In a recent nationwide survey, over 62% of high school athletic directors said dealing with aggressive and/or uncooperative parents and adult fans is what they liked least about their jobs. I'm Patrick Little, Eyewitness News.